Geek Protagonist here, and I seen this popping up, and I actually seen something before about it, and I think now we got this covered, talked about it too, where apparently they're saying from the same sources that said about Ben Affleck being back and the Taskmaster was there. We got this covered. To me, it's kind of like 50-50 for the most part, but I was already thinking about this anyway. Me and my friend were talking about it. I It's about Black Panther and how should they move forward. Now, I told him that with the comic book, that Shuri has been Black Panther, and I didn't know if they were going to do White Wolf, his their brother thing, or not, because of since they called White Wolf Bucky. So I was like, I guess they're not going to do White Wolf thing. White Wolf has a whole thing. It's like, if I remember correctly, he's like T'Challa's adopted brother. And now what they're stating is they're going to, because of the impact that Chadwick put on the role, the impact of the significance and the association between him and the part, from what they're stating is that Disney and Kevin Feige are deciding to basically kill him off screen, like have something happen. They're probably going to have something where they're going to use a little CG or some unused footage, or they're going to do some movie magic with the footage where he's going to be doing something, and they're basically going to kill him. Which, if this is true, it'll probably be in a very spectacular fashion. Like, it's not going to just be, oh, he died, or oh, he died fighting. Like, they're probably going to show him, like, do something. Which, if I was them, and I think this is what they're going to do, it's probably going to be him, like, saving a lot of people. Like, he's going to be doing something crazy. And through his sacrifice, they're going to probably put Shuri in charge. Being that this will be an unprecedented event of a king falling before they've had a child. And they said that, and then going forward, Shuri would play the part, and then that's what would be the role. Now, I did hear rumors a while back, even when Chadwick, was getting ready to prep, because from what I understand, he was, like, starting to work out and everything, that they kept talking about this thing about Shuri taking over anyway. I didn't know if that to be true, and I didn't think they were going to do it that way. I thought, basically, my mindset was we would have Shuri take over, but it was going to be like a gradual, like, he's like, look, I got to be the king of Wakanda and then do this, and that probably wouldn't have happened until, like, the third film or something. At this point, Chadwick has showed up in Captain America Civil War as T'Challa, his own movie, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. It's at least 4 films. Now, personally, and I've been giving this a lot of thought, I think they should actually recast him. Now, I know for a lot of people, they're going to do the thing, and just hold on, hear me out before you start doing no, nobody can replace him. Nobody, look. I know people are saying the same thing about Iron Man. Well, the Hulk has been replaced. So far throughout the journey of just the character, the Hulk, there has been 3 people to play the Hulk. Eric Bana, Edward Norton, and now, Mark Ruffalo. And the transition was very smooth. And being that the transition was very smooth, I think they can do it. Now, the reason why I'm saying hear me out. I think when they recast them, if they wanted to do this route, it should be giving a really actor who is kind of like Chadwick. Not saying it's the same level. Chadwick did a lot. Like once he hit the scene running. But there's a lot of movies that I found out that he did I didn't even know. I remember Fringe, and he did this movie. I think it was called The Hole or The Whole Hill or something like that. But he's done quite a few movies, more than I actually thought he did. I thought he was in about like 15 movies, but it looks like he's closer to like 20 something. So, I mean, that's great. That gives me more Chadwick to watch on other stuff. Because I like discovered a couple and I was like, ooh, I'm watching those later. Because Chadwick deserves to be watched. The guy was special. And I understand that. There are certain things where it's a little rough because some people embodied a role so hard. And he happened to be one of them. So what I feel they should do is find another actor, like how Michael B. Jordan is, for example. I'm not saying get Michael B. Jordan, but Michael's another actor who's been really establishing that, like, his legacy. And go through a couple, like, the actors and see who's been really establishing it. Like, yo, this dude is really coming up. Give somebody that opportunity, the way Chadwick got the opportunity. Basically, through Denzel helping, Chadwick was able to achieve his dream and pulled him out from one place and put him to another. And I think a great way to push that legacy forward and that idea forward and that help your fellow brother, like, help the next guy forward. I think personally, even though it would be rough, and Ryan Coogler and all of them, like, really sit down and go through some casting and black actors and stuff, and that actor's gonna know they got a tall task to fill, because it's not about, and especially because you've seen it happen with even Batman. Being recast in the original Joel ones. And even currently, Ben Affleck, and now you have, the Matt Reeves, the Batman, and, Robert Pattinson. So it can be done. Excuse me. I just woke up a little bit ago. But with the one with Robert Pattinson, for example, a lot of people are like, oh, the guy from Twilight, blah, 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 blah. And then they see that one trailer, and most people are like, oh, okay. A lot of times people, what they'll do is, and don't get me wrong, perfect casting. I think Iron Man was perfect casting. I think Chris Evans was perfect casting. Honestly, Chris Hemsworth was also perfect casting. I think Christopher Reeves was pretty much perfect casting. I also think that Henry Cavill was perfect casting because he reminds me of a more modern day Superman, where the changes have been when the comics have kind of matched him. Actually, I even think what's his name from Superman Returns that now plays Ray Palmer. I think he was really good casting. I mean, he looks like Christopher Reeves. It's like I looked at him, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy looks like Christopher Reeves. So there is roles that people really, really push, and I think even what's his name from Grant Gustin from Flash TV show, I think is actually perfect casting. So it can be done. We've seen it. But I personally think, and I know it'll be hard for a lot of people to accept, but for everything that means to that role, and I know because Chadwick put it to that role, I got a weird feeling if you ask Chadwick, if Chadwick didn't believe that this is what was going to happen, like if he was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna pass away from this. I'm gonna go, and this is what I want. I feel like Chadwick would be like, yo, give another guy or give somebody else that the same opportunity that I got. gives like pay it forward. I won't be of this world. Pay it forward. He may even have had actors in mind. But if they're going like if they're going to do it, it has to be somebody who can balance it enough to kind of still be like under Chadwick's performance, but then do their thing, similar to the War Machines. And there would be some differences, but I think it could still work. But they would have to put some real work into the casting. Now that's if they really want to. If they want to like, look, we got to keep this May 22nd, 2022 thing. We got to just keep this going and keep the ball rolling. Okay, then yeah, put in Shuri, and I wouldn't have a problem if they did that either. It was still comic book accurate and everything, but you're gonna have to make T'Challa, if he's gonna die, be something like epic. I mean, they have the CG. You don't even have to see him come out of the suit until maybe the last part. They can like I said, take scenes from what they had before, kind of rework it, same as they did with Leia, where they kind of took the scenes and reworked it. So it's not like they don't know how to, um, and do something that way, and then have Shuri, like the world doesn't have a Black Panther, and then Shuri could even go on a revenge mission. So there is a way you can make it work where Shuri's like, nah, you killed my brother, and I'm coming after you. And we can see a different side of Shuri, that cute, lovable, huggable, just wonderful girl that she stole my heart for. I love Shuri, the way they depict her. But that would be like crazy if all of a sudden you see her like change, like, nah, you took out my brother. I got something for you. So I'm not saying it can't work, and I'm not saying I wouldn't accept it, but personally, I think Chadwick would want the character recasted. Of course, the actor has to be like, you know, yeah, a young Hollywood, something coming up, and we need to be something fierce. Jesse Usher. That's what I'm talking about. I followed his career. Like I said, the first time I ever seen him was Level Up and stuff, and he seemed pretty good. I also think it would be poetic, actually. I'm starting to remember the conversation I had with my boy. If John David Washington got the role, he's good, and he's Denzel's son, and it would kind of be like a poetic circle. I think, of course, still do it, but I actually have watched him do things. I think he's a really, really awesome up and coming actor, and the way that would mean, I think John David Washington is probably my number one, but Jesse always comes to my mind because I really like Jesse. Also, I've had a little experience with what's his name? He plays Black Noir. Nathan, I think his name's Nathan Mitchell. I might be wrong. He's the guy who plays Black Noir. I've seen him a little bit too. Actually, he's another up and comer today. They could check. Then there's also, I'm really trying to remember here. Ashton Sanders is another one, and I think he played a Moonlight. And Lakeith Steinfeld. So John David Washington, Jesse Usher, Nathan Mitchell, Ashton, and Lakeith Steinfeld. Yeah, that in that order. But tell me what you guys think about my picks for replacements, or tell me if you say, hey, I don't want Chadwick replaced, I'd rather see Shuri. I would love to hear your comments and your thoughts and things as well. That's just my thoughts. So those 5 are the standouts to me that I think could possibly use the opportunity. John David Washington is kind of right there already. Like he was one of the main stars in Ballers. Of course, The Rock's the main because he's The Rock, but he was a standout with Ballers. He's starred in Tenet. He was in the movie Black Klansman. That got he's my number one now that I thought about it because of he's kind of right there where Chadwick was, starting to play people, start like, and then that connection between Chadwick and Denzel. I don't know, for some reason, just something feels right about that the most. Jesse Usher, I just think is really, really talented. Um, so yeah, those are my like top two, and then Nathan, Lakeith, and Ash. I would accept any one of them. I think they could pull it off. It'd be a little different for each one, but I think that'd be interesting. And they've all are kind of having that TV career, that movie career, they're up and coming. So, like I said, tell me what you guys think. I think either way would work, but I'm like 60-40. 40% on Shuri, but I have no issue with it whatsoever if that's the way they go. There could be some interesting directions they take, but I would like to see if Shuri was going to take over. I would like to see her do it by like the third movie, where maybe we've gotten T'Challa a few more times, maybe 2 3 more times, in some films like Black Panther 2, Black Panther 3, maybe in like an Avengers thing, or he teams up with Falcon and something like that. Like give him a little bit more, and then be like, look, I'm going to do this, or if you want to kill him off, and then be like, all right, now we're going to kill him off. Whatever way you want to go, and have Shuri take over. So that's my thing. But John David Washington is my number one, and Jesse Usher is my number two. And if you guys have ideas like, hey, what about this actor? Tell me. I'm just going off, like I said, the cuff and the top of my head. And those were the 5 that stood out for me. But you guys tell me what you think. I think both ways can work, and I'll accept it. But I think that Chadwick would want to give somebody else that opportunity. And I'm kind of on board with that a little bit more. So if we said out of 100%, I'm like a 60-40. 60% saying recast them, 40% saying do the Shuri story. In the end, either way, I will be there. I will probably love the heck out of it. Like I said, to see that kind of character change on Shuri, and I love. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's how I feel. Anyway, tell me what you think. I know a lot of people may be like, he can't be replaced. Like, it's not even so much about replacing, it's about moving forward. Nobody's going to replace Chadwick. Um, Chadwick done a lot of stuff. Just who he is, the upstanding kind of person that he is or was, and just everything. So it's not about replacing; it's about moving forward and giving somebody the opportunity that he got, the same opportunity he was afforded. I just feel like that's the way he would be. He seems like the way everything I've seen, he's such a giving person and everything. I just see it that way. Like he would be somebody that would be like, no, give this opportunity to another person. Everyone here has already been established, in these movies and stuff. Give somebody an opportunity that they may not have gotten before because of this. Now that person's gonna have a lot of work and big shoes to fill. So whatever actors like, I can take it on. It's gonna be work. But yeah, the geek protagonist. You stay safe, you stay healthy, you stay real, people, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you for visiting my channel. This is the Geek Protagonist. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please, it'll really help me out in the channel if you actually share these videos, if you like what I'm doing. Please hit that bell notification. Hit it, click. This way you won't miss any of my videos. Also, there's a thing on there that says personal and all. Hit the all. This way you'll get them every time for the notifications. I'm trying to, grow, trying to do commentary about what's going on. And I want to thank you again. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. This is the Geek Protagonist. I'm out, and I'll see you.